Hello. I hope everyone's having a good day, good week, all that fun stuff. Let's get ourselves set up. Let's see. All right, I think we are set. Yes, we are. Like I said, I hope everyone's having a good week, good time. We are going to be vintage today. Um, we're going to play with the Tim Holtz kit that he released with Simon Says, and they did a live and create segment with it. It was a lot of fun to watch. Um, I was hoping I could be watching them and playing with them while they were doing it. Um, but of course, nope, life always tends to get in the way just a little bit, but that's okay. That is absolutely okay. I'm just going to real quick go over what was in the kit. The kit's no longer available. This one went crazy, crazy. But what came in the kit was these 4 full packs of ideology. You got layers, ephemera, more layers, and paper dolls, and baseboards and transparencies. What I thought was really, really interesting, going through and just listening to him explain, there's a purpose for each. I can't remember though. But there is, that purpose for each of these, why there's a baseboard, why there's layers and ephemera, and how he views them. So that was really interesting. So yeah, these 4 full packs you got. You also got a sticker book for Christmas with lots of sentiments. Good morning, Biddy. I'm going to hold off on my apologies to you and to Sean, but you get great sentiments in this sticker pack. You get some washi tapes and then larger sticker sentiments, which are great. You got an exclusive die that was only available in the kit, and it just puts these lines in. So that you can do even more layers. You got small tags, you got large tags. One of them came die cut. I die cut these 2, and that's what this die does. It's a 2-part die. And then you got card bases, a piece of acetate, and some glitter papers. We've got a frame that we're going to make a home decor piece. Yeah, this was all in the kit. Snowflakes, which is now available in a larger jar. This is mica and a glitter combination. It's really cool. You got a thing of collage, medium, and glossy accents, which was good because I needed another glossy accents. 3 distress crayons, a small ice spruce, and the mini little thing. This is so adorable. This is just adorable. It's adorable. 2 greens, which are cool. And then you just got this little tiny envelope or packet that was just filled with silver balls, a red trim, some Q-tips, and these are Q-tips, some baker's twine, little clips, another little foam, candles, all of that fun stuff. So we're just going to hold them in here because I'll lose something. absolutely. We're going to lose something. So I'm going to see what we can get through. I might even change it to a larger card base instead of standard A2 size. Good morning, Dawn. How are you? I am going to pull in my vintage photo. Absolutely. Yeah, that's for me, vintage, that's just got to come in. And I'm even going to pull in the scorched timber, possibly. Might use that. Um, but yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have some fun making some vintage things, having fun collaging, just all the goodness. And we're going to see how far we get through all of this. So how are you two doing? Dylan and Biddy, how are you guys? So let me, first, as I get myself set up here, and I think I'm going to grab my large card bases. Hang on, let me, because I know I'm going to need real estate. And we'll go with a 6x6 card base because the bigger, the better. Oh, good. I'm so glad you're doing well, Dawn. You have already hit the ground running. And what? Please tell me you didn't literally hit the ground like me. Your live was fun to watch yesterday. Yes, I was there in the background, of course. All right, so it's feeling like it might be a busy day. Aren't they all busy days? At least I feel they're all busy days. I am playing catch up this weekend, actually. Getting some projects done, coming up with some ideas. Okay, I really need to figure out what color this is because I just absolutely love that color. So, standard A2 size. For me, this looks really small. It really does. I'm just not used to it anymore. I think I've made so many large cards. It just looks very small to me. So we're going to start with some cards first. And maybe I'll pull in the white card base. Oh, wonderful, Dawn. Now, with your garden, do you also do you preserve what you do from what you get from your garden? I love watching those shows on YouTube. There's a couple people that I watch. I just so enjoy watching them. All right, let's see. So I know I want to use a tag. Now, also in the kit came envelopes, but okay, yeah, no, that's not going to fit. But when I make, but whenever I have a card, I always go over it, outside of it. I need a 5x7 card base. 5x7. So yes, I will, I'm going to apologize now. I'm just going to put it out there. Apologize for those of you that tuned in on Sean's live with me and Betty. Let me get my larger size cards here. Hold on. Hang on. All right, I think I got them. So I'm going to apologize to those two. And to all of you that showed up. I was the one that did not. So I'm not going to go into the full details. The only thing that I will say was I just had a little bit of a mishap. It's a hysterical story. At least I can laugh about it now. Wasn't laughing too much on that day. Because of course this happened during the day. I was scheduled to go live with basically my design team, and I was going to teach a technique. Yeah, that works. When it came to our Zentangle, but because something had happened and it just turned into this long day event, I literally slept right through, thinking that, okay, I'll have to, because I didn't have my phone with me. It was just a whole ordeal. I just can't go into the details of it. And it was just an experience. So I do apologize. I do not like doing that. It's a commitment. And I'm always there for commitments. And it just failed. It just failed. All right, we're going to start with the tag with the cutouts. And what's great is you can use this to put a gift card in there when it comes to your card. Anything that will run. We are going to use this. Get that primed up. And we are going to just have fun creating our layers. With the tag, I want to get this just a little bit etched up with our iced spruce. Just around the sides, and then we'll... Oh, lots of squeakiness. Oh, yes. Okay. Squeaky, squeaky. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, I don't even like that sound. So let's just get that done so we can stop that. Wow. Okay. That's like right up there for some with the nails across the chalkboard. But I like what it's doing. Okay. So I do apologize. Totally unavoidable though. Totally unavoidable. Alright, so that is going to sit there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put glue down here. I'm going to put glue down one side and up on the top here on one side because I might want to put something underneath it, or I'll put glue here because we can tuck things along the side of it as well. I'm going to stay out of this area here and just look at the top of that. You said you slept until 6:45. Nope, not me. Nope. I did not. So I'm going to put glue on the bottom. And I'm going to put glue down the center. And we're going to get that right onto our card base. Because by doing that, I've got options. I've got ability. We'll put that right there. Going to grab some scraps of lace. Because we'll put a little piece on top of there. What do I got? And we'll snip this. I even tear the fabrics. And I'm going to just stress this up. Adding a little bit of ink to this. Now you could spray it and let it dry. I'm impatient. But just to tone that down, and we'll cut it. And then we're going to thread this through. And of course we're going to do that. But from that though, on Thursday, I do feel better. Everything's fine. It's just, yeah, just had a moment. Just had a moment. Get this off there. Ave, good morning. I hope you are doing well. I'm going to change out my phone because that one has been through lots of things. And we'll get this primed up as well. All right. So now I'm going to, so I've got this glued down. So I glued it down here and it's glued right along the top up here. And now we're just going to have fun sticking our items in. I'm going to look at both the layers and paper dolls. Let's see what this holds. And possibly the ephemera pack. And I'm literally going to dump this right along the side of me. I'm sure this is one that I will go in a lot. And then I'm going to have the ephemera pack on the other side of me. We are playing, we are vintage today. And I am playing with the Tim Holtz kit that he curated with Simon Says. And they did the class live on Simon Says stamp. So you can see, you can now just set your pieces in. Now you can certainly glue these in as well. You don't have to have everything closed up. That's completely your choice when it comes to this. But it's just fun to put your pieces in, see what you're going to get, how it's going to look. So lots of collaging today. And just a full spread. Now, when you tuck things underneath it, you want to make sure that the pieces that you're putting in aren't going to get caught on it as well. So that's the only thing that you've got to think about. But already, it looks awesome. And we're just going to have a play. So Ave, how are you doing? I like that bottom there. I do lean towards the Ephemera pack when it comes to these. For some reason, I just like the look of them. Vicky, good morning. They've yeah, no, it's huge fan. Um, and then Heidi was actually able to convince, I guess, convince him. They're going to do one for Halloween. And that one's pretty much like a home decor piece, but it looks so cool. So I did get that as well. That coming off like that. And then I do want to get my tree down. I do like that tree in there. And the Halloween one that he's curating or curated, that one's already sold out. And I'm going to make sure for this one that I kind of go to the edges so that maybe it won't get hung up too much. And we're able to lift, and we're going to put that right there. And then we'll make sure to see how that one, it could get caught there, but that's okay. We can make it work. And that I know is going to go here, and I do know that this is going to sit here. We'll probably prop that up. So just having fun with our pieces. So what have you guys been working on, if anything? Now, like I said, you can keep one of these open for your gift card, because you can put a gift card right on the front. I'm going to try my hand again at a shaker. Shaker and me's just, yeah. we have a love-hate relationship. Not quite sure why, but we do. My shakers sometimes go a little bit wonky. Put that one there. So I'm starting large. on the pieces and then working my way down. Because the large is going to set. So this is almost, believe it or not, like a little tiny journal type thing, where you can, when you give this to your recipient, you know, they can pull these out, put notes on them. They can add a photo in there if they want. So I don't, when I'm doing something like this, I don't like to glue those pieces down, because this is going to get so stuffed that it's going to just hold everything. Let's see. Oh, Vicki, that sounds like fun. Glenn, good morning. For those of you that are celebrating the holiday this weekend, I hope you have some fun plans. My fun plan is to get caught up with everything that I had going on. I can laugh about it now. it's pretty much all I can do right now. But I do know what caused it, so put that there. And then I just want another big piece. Because I do want to hide our pieces there. And again, you can push these in as far down as you want. Just know that, you know, if you push them all the way down, this doesn't have glue in it. I am going to break into the layers, because there is something that I want from there. As I throw it across the screen. I did, Gwen. I did. Finished up the Simplicity series, a very detailed series. We gotta have Santa in here somewhere. A very detailed in the community on Simplicity, looked at different styles of paper pads that are out. Now him I am going to glue down. So I'm just going to put a little glue on the top there. And I just need this, there we go. I want him to peek out, and I want him to stay. And then I want my candy cane to stay, so we can pick and choose our pieces that are staying. So yeah, Gwen, I did a lot. I was actually getting nervous, excuse me, with that, because I was putting so much in there. I didn't know if it was coming down to the wire. But I was determined to get all those details in, so that everyone could have fun with it. think we're going to move this over to there. That's going to go there. And those are going to be glued down, and then this is going to go right here. You know I have to have a poinsettia somewhere, right? I'm just saying. There's still room in this if we wanted to add a gift card or anything like that. I'm going to have that go up there like that. So I'll put glue down on this edge. And I'm going to hold it there because now I need to get glue down on this edge. Because I want that to get tucked up underneath that, because that's kind of sort of my sentiment. And we have that. I am going to flip this over and trim off the edges to get them even with the card. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that simplicity. I was surprised at the end when I counted the cards, and we came up with 63 cards when it came to all of that. And I'm going to put that there. And then that's just going to, by putting this here and gluing it down, it's going to tighten up everything there. And I think we'll do the same thing with that. And it'll also break up that green. Woo! Go. Now we are missing something because just like with vintage photo or vintage, we must have vintage photo. We must also have splatters. Let's see. Must also have splatters. Not sure exactly what, if it's going to be a blizzard. Cordelia, good morning. Oh, I'm sorry you have to work, Biddy. Looking for my brush. I always have my brush by me for my splatters. I'm just using acrylic paint. I'm finding acrylic paint's the best. And I'm just going to splatter over this. It doesn't matter that my pieces are tucked in. Again, it all depends on how the recipient looks at this. Some of the pieces are glued down. Some of them are not. And like I said, they can come out so that they can be written on, journaled on. All right, so, you know, it looks like a, well, okay, maybe we'll go just above a flurry. Because to me, you can never have enough splatters. Never. Never. I think the splatters just tie it up, close it out, and allow that to just have fun. So that is our first card. I love the dimension on it. Now again, this isn't for everyone, you know, but I don't want to put my hand on the splatters, but I do like the way that this adds the texture and the dimension. As like I said, they can come out, you can put little tiny notes in it. You could even write your note in that and put a little tab on top of it to say pull me, so that they see it. Good morning, Jennifer. Hey T. Um, when it comes to that, and then of course you've got all your space inside to create. You can also take one of these pieces of ephemera, which is always great now that I've got them spread all over the place. I'm trying to find, oh, that's not a piece of ephemera. You can take this, wrong one. We're going to put glue 3 sides. So if you think that your gift card would get lost in the front, put glue on 3 sides. Of course, I do this afterwards because that's what I do. I make things more difficult. And we can set that right there. And now you've got a pocket for your gift card. So, there you go. I even decorated the inside of a card, which is something that I usually do not do. So, that is our first one. I'm going to set this aside, let it dry. I love the splatters. You gotta love the splatters. All right, so that is our first one. Woohoo! All right. We are going to work on... I'm running out of space. Too funny. Funny. Let's see. Well, I'll get that up there. I want to keep those there. Oh, I missed that ticket. Oh, I like that ticket too. I love tickets. Tickets. Can't have enough tickets. All right, so let's look at our layers. And I do want to choose one of these. Yeah, that just goes right up onto that whole thing, doesn't it? I love these. I remember these. All this packaging. There's a store near us. It was open all year. It was Christmas all year. And oh no, these are nice. Okay, I like these. And it was open for decades, just decades. Well, they closed last year. Very, very upsetting. At least for me it was. Because they had all of these old boxes, and you could tell they were still, because they were beat up, and I would buy the boxes just because they were beat up. But they had so much of all of this type stuff. I'm looking at the smaller openings, but I'm also pulling out pieces where I'm like, oh, I like that. Oh yeah, I like that. But I'm looking at the smaller frames. So we're going to do a shaker. And see how that looks. Wow, That's about hoy. Hello. Where's that 6x6 card base? I know I had one. Or did I not pull it out? Let's see if it'll fit. Alright, so we're going to do... The layers do have a little, on some of them, a little bit of a glossy finish. That's okay for me. Just gives it a different look. We'll stack those over there. Okay, that's just way too small. We need a 6x6 shaker card. Anthony, good morning. They are, Jennifer. They really are. They are very full. Very, very full. I think the layers comes with 86 pieces. The ephemera comes with 140 pieces. And then the layers and paper dolls comes with 82. All right, now this could be great entertainment for everyone, because Shakers and I, we just do not get along, and it's the operator. That would be me. It's not anything else. It's clearly the operator. All right, so I do like that. And I do my shakers very differently. I love watching when somebody can do a shaker and just literally take it right to the card and make it work. I always have to do my shakers as a separate piece. I don't know why. I just do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this. This is, we're going to say that's 5.5 by 5.5. So I'm going to cut a piece of cardstock. I'm going to dig into my scraps. And pink it is. And I'm going to cut it 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. You're not going to see this, but I always have to make a backing. So we're going to work on our shaker part first. So we're going to do like a mini masterboard here, but we're going to make sure that some of these pieces are seen. So I'll constantly be taking this and saying, okay, I can have that there, and getting these glued down, layered up. And you can see I'm gonna have this scene in the background of our piece. And it may not take many. Like I may look at that one because it's smaller. And we're just gonna look, and we're gonna build that back up in there. So I hope that makes sense with what I'm doing. But I also want to see, you know, what that background's going to look like. And I am digging into some of the layers. think I'm going to stick with the Santa Claus because I got Santa. We've got Santa up there. All right, so let's get that glued right there. Well, hello, Jazzy Jazz. I like that. It's a happy handle. And if you guys are asking a question, please, if you want, put those in caps. That helps me to see them. Oh, now this is squeaking. Oh, we're making all kinds of fun noises today. Now, since I'm doing a collage in the background of the acetate, I am going to make sure that I get glue around the edges. I don't want something to come up underneath. If it gets stuck, I'm okay with that. So you're just going to constantly see me go back and forth and get that set. And hopefully I can do it before the glue sets. But, you know, you all know me. I can rip that right back up. It's all good. So we can push that down. And now we'll come in with some smaller bits. See, I'm already tearing up here. And then I will cut around the outside of that. I do want to get that corner glued down. Stay. So my goal here is to get that pink all covered up. So I've got this and I've got this. You could also do the same thing with your scrap pattern paper. Create a patchwork for that. I just have that one spot. Let's find something. I think that's this here. I'm going to squeeze that in right there. And let's see what that does. Jeez. There we go. We'll just put a line. Now, just need to make sure that everything's glued down. Nothing is... Oh, I got that little spot right there. So, how am I going to fix that? Okay, well, we'll just come in with some vintage photo. See? All covered. Not pink. And there we go. So that's going to be our backdrop for the for where the snow is all going to sit in. You all know what I mean. So I glued it to this. That's funny. All right, so I am going to trim these pieces off. Oh, take care, Biddy. I hope she feels better soon. So again, I always work that panel. This is going to come here. That is not making me happy. And I know there's something little, even though I said it was fine, it's not. We can take this little stamp and we can just glue that right there. Oops. There we go. Now I'll feel better. And again, when I put this here, I'm just going to put something here just in case. Now again, I've got flexibility. No, I think we'll be okay. All right, so let's get our acetate onto this piece. So we have our panel, which again, I always do. And I always keep the tissue paper on because my fingers will get all over this. And I'm going to put a bead of glue a little bit away from the edge, because what I want to avoid is any glue coming in front of it. So as long as I go a little bit from the edge, and I do like to use glue for this, liquid adhesive. I know many people use double-sided tape. I just envision the piece coming apart. It's just what I say. And I also like the acetate to almost be the full panel of the piece. Some may say that's wasteful. And what I'll do is now I'll put my hand here and then I push away from the center. That took me a while because I used to just, and then glue would be all seeping in. So again, just pushing away from the front of that acetate, and now we've got our acetate in place. I'll keep the tissue there just for a little bit because I'm a messy crafter, right? I have just messiness written into me. Now, I guess I am an old-time crafter, but I still like to use the three. It's the, and you can tell, I mean, this is starting to yellow. What I like to do is just pull a long strip and I will fold it onto itself. And I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'll pinch it, and then I will run my hand up alongside of it like that, and then pinch it down, and then I will cut. So now I have my double layered foam tape. And I still only use the 3M. It's because I'm a creature of habit. Because now I can cut this into any shape, any piece that I want. These are great. I love these. These are very sticky, have never failed. But this isn't enough for this piece. So what I'm able to do now, since this is a large area, and I can cut that down. So I've got that. Now I'll start removing this and just keep my fingers crossed. And I do add a little bit of glue to this. It's still sticky, even though, look, it's aging on each side. But I am definitely a creature of habit with some things. This has never failed me. See, even this is vintage. Just saying. I do like to have the majority of this covered with the double-sided tape. And you do want to make sure that you have the piece enclosed. All right, now I can cut strips off of this. And I don't take my double-sided tape right up to the edge because I don't want it to be seen. I'm just going to cut right up into that. So from that one, I got 3 pieces. I'm take this skinnier one, and we're going to push it in along the side. And then I'll fill in just some of these gaps with a smaller strip. So I'll come in here with this one. And put this one up in the corner. So now I'll just fill this in. But I do want to keep a gap going on. Ooh. hoping that's low enough. Yes. All right, and I think we're good. I'll flip it over, I'll look at it to make sure so that now when I put this down, and again, I don't see this when it goes down because I'll flip this. This is all upside down. So fingers crossed that we've got. Anthony, you can. Oh, have a good one, T. Um, you can make your own mixes out of glitter, out of sequins, you know, anything you've got. So if I center that panel, and if I look, I've got everything covered. That's what I'm shooting for. So now I'm going to remove the release paper first, because if I put any of my shaker bits in here, got a piece there that wants to move on its own. When I put the shaker bits in there, something usually pops, and then I have everything everywhere. So I will remove my release paper. Now remember, you're using glue on acetate, so some of these pieces are moving around, they're shifting. Like this one here just does not want to stick at all. So we're going to get rid of that one. And we'll cut another one. Again, me adding glue to these is just my paranoia that it's all going to come apart. And I absolutely love shaker cards. All right, so now that we have that, we're going to use what we got here, the snowflakes, glitter and mica flakes, and we're going to go to town with this. Oh yes. And I'm sure there's a thing in here. There is. And I'm going to hit it in the center. Now, I also don't use anti-static powder on my window. We'll go with that. It will stick in the beginning. Like all of that glitter will cling to the acetate. But after a while, it dissipates and it'll stop. Okay. Now, I am going to add glue just to the outside edge here, carefully, so that my glue bottle does not flip this up. Now this will have a better contact because of the paper. I'm going to get on my tippy toes. Okay, I just need to lift this up real quick. Yep. I needed to make sure that everything was going in the right position. All right, up on my tippy toes, and we're going to center this onto this piece as best we can, and we are going to push. We're just going to push down. So this is how I do a shaker. I create a back panel, and it could be just plain cardstock, or it could be ink blended, you know, whatever that is. But whatever that panel is, I don't do it to the card base. This piece is always done separately. Fingers crossed. There we go. And there we go. We have our shaker. And then when we tap it, it all comes in. Now again, all of this will calm down. It will go away in time. But once she's up, all the snow is down here. But it's a shaker. I could do this for hours. Yes. ASMR moment. There we go. So now that this is done, and I think that looks cool. I think that looks absolutely cool. Now I'll go around the outside. And the vintage photo won't go on this too well. I'm just hitting the edges because it is shiny.